Welcome to the Poston Preserve in Florence County, South Carolina. Today, it's a quiet, protected wildlife sanctuary. But 100 years ago, this exact location right here was a deafening, rapidly expanding industrial railroad junction. How does a booming commercial hub get put on the map by heavy industry, only to completely dissolve back into the forest? The life cycle of Poston reveals exactly how rural American communities live, die, and are reborn. Their survival relies almost entirely on the infrastructure that connects them to the outside world. In 1766, brothers John and Anthony Poston navigated the Great Philadelphia Wagon Road to settle this area. Back then, the settlement was known as Ellison. For decades, these early agricultural families had exactly one method for regional trade: navigating the Great Pee Dee River. Relying on the river meant relying on the weather. Unpredictable currents and seasonal flooding routinely trapped crops, isolating the farmers from major markets for weeks at a time. To break out of this geographic trap, the local economy desperately needed a modernized lifeline to the coast. Natural geography eventually becomes a strict ceiling for a town's economic growth. It forces the people who live there to build a new path or accept their limits. By the early 1900s, a visionary farmer named Andrew Poston realized the river was holding the Pee Dee backcountry back. In 1914, he successfully negotiated a deal with the South Carolina Western Railway to build a brand new railroad junction directly on his property. Poston was a Confederate veteran. His military background gave him the discipline and local influence to push a major infrastructure project through a skeptical community. The tracks were laid, giving this isolated agricultural pocket a direct line to the ports of Charleston and Florence. The resulting economic explosion was rapid. Timber flowed out, businesses opened, and employment multiplied as the settlement transitioned into a regional commercial hub. To honor his strategic land contribution, the railway company officially named the new junction Poston. Andrew Poston's gamble proved that securing heavy infrastructure can literally rewrite a town's economy overnight. But growth brings demands. The rail company soon proposed building a massive repair shop to permanently anchor their investment in the town. The local residents pushed back. Looking at the noise, smoke, and heavy industrialization, they fiercely resisted the facility to protect their rural way of life. A bitter tug-of-war followed. Ultimately, the locals successfully blocked the construction of the repair shop. Right on the heels of this rejection, Andrew Poston passed away in 1916. Without their primary advocate, and with the industrial anchor canceled, the town's rapid momentum abruptly stopped. The community made a deliberate choice to prioritize autonomy over maximum economic output. That fateful decision triggered the end of their boomtown era. An immediate economic vacuum formed. The rail executives realized Poston would not support an industrial repair hub. Because they lacked a heavy infrastructure investment to tie them down, the rail companies simply rerouted their trains to cheaper paths and abandoned the original line. The fallout was rapid. Businesses boarded their windows, families packed up to find work elsewhere, and the settlement was quietly absorbed by Florence County. A transit town without a permanent industrial anchor cannot survive. When the infrastructure inevitably shifts, the wealth rolls away with it. The railroad tracks were pulled up and the industry vanished. But the Poston family lineage remained deeply rooted in the exact same soil for over 2 centuries. Today, an 8th-generation descendant, Dr. Harold Chalmers Poston, Jr., stewards this historic property. He operates with an intentional, ongoing mission, transitioning the land from an abandoned industrial railway site back into a vibrant, protected wildlife sanctuary. You won't find the family name painted on the side of a noisy train depot anymore. Instead, it is preserved in the quiet restoration of the low-country dirt. Infrastructure dictates the temporary rise and fall of economies, but a community's true, lasting legacy is built by the people who choose to stay and steward the land long after the trains have stopped running.